Today what we're doing is moving roses out of tubs that we use to bring them over here, and we're going to actually put them into pots so they're a little bit more stabilized and don't get water soaked for the next couple months. I need my little hand trowel. One of the many things that got left. We had to move out of our house in 4.5 hours on the day that we moved, so quite a bit of our stuff got left, and my hand trowel that I weeded with and I do everything with got left in one of the hydrangea pots there. Wow, that doesn't have very much roots.
This is the one that Gopher got to.
Oh, that's right. Then I'm 100% sure it's the Golden Celebration now. This needs root fertilizer. Do we have any of that left? We do.
Not much.
There's not much left in here. That should be good enough.
Here for dirt. Look at that.
Did that come off of this one?
I don't think so. I think it's from a different road.
This poor rose was one of 3 golden celebrations that we had planted out in the circle garden at our old place. We were having such a problem with gophers, moles, and voles out there. I mean, poor Dexter, he did his job. He killed 2 gophers and several moles and voles, but it just wasn't enough. He couldn't keep up with them. I mean, we tried everything. We tried planting lavender, rosemary next to the roses. We tried setting off smoke bombs. We put out traps. We even did that repellent, which the mole repellent worked for about 2 weeks until it rained, and then you had to keep replying it. But the thing we found that worked the best for us was planting the lavender and the rosemary right next to the roses. For some reason, that worked. I'm thinking it must have been the smell or something. But anyway, this poor rose doesn't have very much roots left on it. Hopefully, crossing fingers that it'll make it.
Wet. Doesn't need to be watered in, that's for sure.
Yeah.
First one potted up. Okay, that's 5. Got 3 more to go.
Alright, let's stay put. The water at the same time.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay, so that's 6.
This whole day was a lot of heavy lifting. What we were doing was basically taking the roses out of all of these tubs, because these tubs were the only thing that we had to move the roses into to get them over to this property. But none of these tubs had like drainage holes. So we were trying to get the roses out of the tubs and into pots as soon as we could, because we were not able to put them into the ground yet.
Found 3 more daffodils. But it's not enough to make a circle, but we'll have to make do. I just realized I don't think I showed myself getting the rest of the daffodils. There were a bunch of daffodil bulbs mixed in with some of the pots that we brought over, and I just planted them all, most of them, right in front of the wall in the front yard. Well, we had 2 things accomplished over the last few days. The first one is we have all the roses in the ground that we can currently get in the ground. The rest of them are gonna have to wait until we move those 2 bigger trees to the backyard. The guys, the landscapers who are going to move them for us, said that we need to leave them this much space because that, where the grass is and everything, the roots to those trees are probably there. So we cannot plant anything there until those trees are moved. But for now, all of the roses that can get in the ground are in the ground. Well, we are done potting up the roses into pots, getting them out of those tubs. They are now into pots, and we moved one hydrangea that needed to be moved as well. Big hydrangea. We moved these two roses, which my husband thinks this one's wedding bells. That one's definitely Leonardo da Vinci because it's got the tag. The reason why I say my husband thinks that one's wedding bells. He's the one who dug out all the roses with the tractor before we moved. I was not able to be out there helping him because I was packing up the inside of the house. So I have no idea what these roses are. I've basically been planting them by, some of them do have tags. Most of the David Austin ones still have their tags on. There was a couple that didn't. So I'm going by tags that are on them, what my husband thinks he planted them, like what color of tub and what shape and what size, where they were according to the pictures that I've looked at. So I'm just like crossing my fingers, hoping that some of them I didn't know are the correct ones where I've planted them. Otherwise, color scheme may look a little odd. But it's kind of crazy. It is the end of January, and we still have rose flowering. There's flower on the rose. If it doesn't start freezing up here, I think it's supposed to start freezing up here this week, but it was supposed to start last night, and I'm not sure it really did. I think they've changed the weather again, and now we're not going to get any freezing temperatures for another 3 or 4 days. But if it doesn't start freezing up here, I'm going to have to start doing the California thing and defoliating the leaves off the roses so that they rejuvenate and grow this spring. Crazy. It's been a crazy winter. End of January, and we haven't had any hard freezes. So the pile of plants is getting less and less. We have potted up any rows that were in the tubs. That hydrangea there in the tub is going to go to my husband's co-worker's wife, the people that let us store our freezer in their garage for a couple weeks while we got moved in. So that hydrangea is going to them. So we're not putting that up because it's going to go in the ground soon, hopefully. And then the rest are all either in like some sort of planter pot. All the tubs are now gone, and this is how much we've planted. This is where the tubs and plant pots come to die. Back here underneath the stairs. Tubs, so many pots and more tubs and more tubs and more tubs that had just huge plants in it. So we have been extremely busy, and these are all trees that should not have come because they're way too big to be planting here. When the guys that helped out, bless them all for helping me move all of these heavy roses and hydrangeas and everything, I don't think they heard me when I said I didn't need the little trees moved, and they brought all these little trees, which bless them, they thought I wanted them. I do want them. I just don't have room to plant them because these are ponderosa pine, and there's some cedar in here, and then there are red emperor maples in here, and they're all too big and too tall for this yard. So I'm not sure what I'm going to do with them. I guess I could put them up for free and see if somebody wants to come get them. But some of the cedars are looking a little bit like they need fungus spray on them, so I might have to spray them first. But the ponderosa pines are looking pretty good, actually. It's too bad I don't have space to plant them. The next thing we got to do is top up all of the plants that still need a little bit more dirt, like this one here. Got to top them up and then clean up this whole driveway. Blow off all the dirt, rinse off all the dirt. see how much of it we could get out without a push broom, because our push broom didn't make it onto the U-Haul truck, sadly. And then we still have these mulch bags that we've got to finish putting out, and I still have about 12 smaller plants plus iris tubers that I need to get in the ground. There's about 8 plants there, and then there's about 3 daisies and another coneflower I've got to get in. So that's what we've got to do next.
Just taking a video of my big poochers in the backyard because I don't know how many more days I'm going to get with her. Oh. Oh, now we're moving some azaleas to the back, and we're going to plant them back in the Japanese area because we need some color of some sort, and azaleas do better in partial shade anyway. But the first 2 that my husband pulled out, he just grabbed with his hand. He just pulled it out, yanked it out real easy. And then so I came over here trying to do the same thing.
You picked up those other ones so easily and pulled them out, and I was like, oh my gosh, I must be weak, because I tried to pull these out and I couldn't even budge them. So I was like, how did he pull those out so easily? So it makes me feel a little bit better that you couldn't pull these out either.
Well, it's almost like these have been here for a year or 2. The other ones hadn't. These, see, they're about 3
Weird.
times.
They're the same size up top though. These must have just like,
1, 2 of them right here.
yeah, put like 1 and then 2. That way we can leave, instead of having 5 continuous, it'll be 3 and 2. We'll leave this open for like a pathway to walk back there. Okay, those 2 are in. And now there are 5. Hopefully they all make it.
Now this little salvia that I am planting is a blue and white salvia. I don't remember the name of it. It was something like snow and ice. It definitely had the word snow in it, but it was a really beautiful little salvia. I had planted 2 out in the circle garden, but only 1 had made it through the winter the previous year. So I'm crossing fingers for this one, that this one will make the transplant. So what I'm planting here is a goldenrod. I don't remember which type, unfortunately, but I did say which type it was. If you go back to my fairy container video back in September, this was a plant from that container, and so I'm pretty sure I said which type of goldenrod it was in that video, for those of you who truly want to know. Now this next plant that I am planting is a penstemon. Once again, I don't remember it. Once again, it's from the same video as the goldenrod. It's in that fairy garden video from September. It was one of those ones from the container. Practically almost all of these plants that I am planting now are from that video in that fairy garden container. This one here that I just planted is a purple coneflower, and it was also in that fairy garden container. And now I'm getting out some purple iris that I am going to break up and divide while I've got it out and go put it next to the lamppost. At least I hope these are the purple iris tubers. I only had purple and blue at the old place, and I had reserved a special spot for the purple ones. I'm pretty sure these are purple, but we'll see when they bloom. And they may not bloom this year because iris often don't bloom right away after you plant them. I should have planted these back in the fall, but we didn't move until Christmas, so they're just getting into the ground now. So they may not bloom this first year. Although my daffodils did bloom, even though I planted them on this same day. But iris are a little bit different. I don't expect any blooms till next year. So both of these thyme are creeping thyme, and they were both from that same fairy garden container. There was also a woolly thyme, and I think maybe an elfin thyme, but I did not record myself planting those, but I did plant them. And then after that, we are going to be planting a huge lavender. It's called Grosso lavender, and it was up front, pretty close to the roses, the older, mature roses at the old place. And then we're going to call it a day because I'm tired just watching this video. It was a busy day. This was the end of our 8-day stint for transplanting and getting everything in the ground that we brought over from the old place. And you've already seen my February videos, so now we are caught up till March. I'm trying to rush things through because I'm going to be busy here pretty soon with annuals. Thanks for watching, and until next time, feed the pollinators for me.